Hey, Jason Blumer here with the Ask Jason Question series every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Here we are answering strategic questions for firm owners. And Marissa sent in a great question. That's what we do. So here's what Marissa said. She said, my staff is worried about training a person at the busiest time, but I feel like they need support this quarter to wrap up the year. Thoughts? Well, Marissa, I have a lot of thoughts, so we're going to talk about that first. But I want to let you know about the Coaching and Advisory Lab. This is Thriveal's latest program. It is launching this summer, and it's going to be amazing. So if you go to thriveal.com/lab, you can learn more about it. Now, what you'll find on that page is a brief outline of how this lab is going to work. And it is meant to teach you to be a coach and an advisor. It is a laboratory where you work this out. You're going to be working it out with John Lockhorst, our coach, CPA and certified coach. You're going to be working it out with the members of the lab. So you're going to also practice coaching each other and then selling coaching and advisory to cover actually the cost of the program. So it's a pretty innovative way. Now, one thing you're going to find on that page, thriveal.com/lab, is you're going to find a link to register for an information call. That's where we're going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff about the lab. So you want to go to thriveal.com/lab. And then the registration call is going to be April 30th at 4 p.m. where we're going to give you a lot more details. John and I are going to give you tons more details about exactly the logistics and the program of how it works out. So you do not want to miss that. So thank you, Marissa, for sending this question. So let's dive into it. Again, here's the question. My staff is worried about training a person at the busiest time. I imagine that means tax season. But I feel like they need support this quarter to wrap up the year. Thoughts? Maybe that's not tax season if you're wrapping up the year. So just a couple of different sections to that question. So you've got team feels one way, right? And the owners feel a different way. So what do you do when you got two different opinions? Well, the owners always win. We're the owners. We run the firm. We always win. It's always our way. Now, of course, we don't lead that way, do we? So if there is a difference, and that's really common, when a team member feels a different thing than the owner, then you have to work out that difference. So we would say go after that thing that is different, and that requires a human conversation. You got to dive into what is the staff seeing, what is the team seeing that the owner's not seeing. And it's true often that the team, they're on this client-facing, they're the front lines of service, even often more so than the owner of the firm. So you want to listen. Now, so what you're always doing when you're talking to a team to balance these differences as to what the team believes and you believe is you're trying to get input, but don't let a team think they have a say. There's a difference. And it can be very confusing for a team. And some teams in some firms, they do have a say. They say how the firm is run. And you know what that leads to? Chaos. It leads to all the team doing what they want and going in different directions. And a firm can't scale and grow in a healthy way if you do that. So you do want to work out the differences if a team and an owner believe something different, but you're trying to work it out to get to the best answer. Just make sure you message to the team appropriately that you want their input, but they don't make the final decisions. That's healthy for everybody. And you can message that to them in certain ways. Hey guys, we're going to launch a new program and we need your input, and then we're going to go back and decide what we need to do, but we want to hear from you first. That's the kind of messaging that lets them know they get input, but they don't have a say in how it's going to work. And then the team all follows. They follow the direction of the leader. So that's how it works. So this is noting that the team and the owner believe something different, and this happens to be about training. So let's talk about this second part. Training. Feels like they need training and they need support, but now's not the best time. So training that is one of the most foundational things that really makes for strong teams. It builds culture too. And a lot of firm owners don't commit to training, but it's a huge thing that owners should commit to. Now, training can feel overwhelming. That's why not a lot of us do it. So we would say work the training into a rhythm. And so maybe make training 15 to 30 minutes only. And what is a rhythm? A rhythm is a thing you do all the time at the same time we would say weekly, every week. So we do our training and our team meetings every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Our whole team hops on. We do a team meeting, and then at the end we do some training. A lot of times I'm leading that training. Sometimes the other team are leading that training. But we do it just in bite-sized chunks, right? 15, 20, 30 minutes, and that makes training not so overwhelming. But inserting training into some kind of rhythm is what's going to help you get that training done. When it becomes a habit, the training becomes habitual, and you just kind of work it into the operations of the firm. Because, when you have a big piece of software, and we all have to do this, you have a big piece of software you're implementing in your firm, and you got to train the whole team. That's a huge deal, and it takes a lot of time. And so we all have to do that, but just ongoing training and teaching it needs to be inputted into a rhythm of the firm, and that'll make your firm healthier. So thank you so much, Marissa, for sending that question. You can send a question to info@thriveal.com, and if you do, we'll send you some Thriveal swag, and we'll answer your question live on the Facebook. So thank you, everybody, for joining us for Facebook Live. Hope you have a great rest of the week. Signing off. See ya.